all parts of the deck.
He calls.
She's keeping the pressure on, despite the fact that she's out-chipped significantly at this point.
Paul pairs his queen. He checks.
Annie with complete air here, just praying a bet will earn her the pot.
10,000.
She's going to take a stab, 10,200.
Come on.
Paul puts Annie all in. Quick fold from Duke.
Whoops. Playing sheriff there. Despite the ace on board and the fact that he had no kicker with his queen, he was willing to get it in. Take a chance on ending the match or winning the pot right there.
Move of tables was not bad for me so far.
I hate this dealer, I tell you.
In our featured match, Dennis Phillips ahead of Ellie Alezra by just under 40,000. Phillips with 10-6 suited. He limps in. Ellie with 9 deuce suited checks. Phillips flops 2 pair. Ellie pairs his 9.
Very textured board here, and Ellie's going to lead right out at it. Doesn't want to get called, I can tell you that.
He bets 3,000.
Raise.
Dennis raises to 9,000.
6,000 more.
And that's how you want to play 2 pair on a board like this. You don't want a smooth call, let a spade, 7, or an 8 roll off. 9 wouldn't thrill you either.
Ellie folds.
Do it, Dennis. Oh, boy.
Alezra looking a little exasperated here.
Maybe he just played poker all night. At table 4, Paul Waska now holding almost a 5-1 chip lead over Annie Duke. Blinds at 3 and 6,000.
Those blinds mean Annie's got less than 5 big blinds in her stack.
Annie goes all in with 6-4 snap call from Waska.
Waska could almost call with any 2 here and just take a shot at ending the match. Queen 10 better than average.
Annie flops a pair and a straight draw.
That'll work. Perhaps it's her turn after losing with pocket jacks to ace 10.
Turn no help to Waska.
All Annie's got to do is dodge a queen or a 10 to stay alive. Can she do it?
She does, and she increases her stack to 55,000.
Not out of the woods yet, though. Better than going home.
They've each had a double up, but only one's destiny is to advance.
So just when it looked like Annie Duke was heading for a disappointing end to her run, the deck showed her a little mercy, creating some more work for Paul Waska.
Here at the Quad Baths and Spa at Caesar's Palace, we're inside the one-of-a-kind men's zone. Come here to get treated like an emperor. Get a haircut from the famous Sal the Barber, known for cutting Frank Sinatra's locks. For the women, enjoy Color by Michael Boychuk, a salon to make you feel beautiful from head to toe. And at Qua, both guys and gals can visit the lavish Roman baths or the Arctic ice room. But it's here in the men's zone where Qua is really a cut above the rest. Anyone can get a straight razor shave, even Ali Najad.
I was wondering where you disappeared to. You know, we've got a job to do right here.
When you look up trust in the dictionary, there should definitely be a mention of straight razor shaves. It's spooky down there under the blade.
Phillips with King Jack suited. Raises to 7,500. Ellie with 10-6. He'll call.
Ellie's almost looking fatigued at this point in the match.
Alezra pairs his 10. Phillips with an open-ended straight draw. Ellie checks.
11.
Dennis bets 11,000. Ellie calls.
Everything pretty standard to this point. Phillips wants to see a 9 or an ace on the turn. Jack or a king would work, too.
Queen pairs the board.
Check.
Ellie really likes seeing a card like that. Less likely that Phillips holds a queen, and he loves, obviously, seeing Dennis check behind him.
Phillips hits Broadway on the river.
Dennis took the free card on the turn, and now he got there.
After Ellie checked, Dennis bets 18,000. Ellie not happy and folds.
Got you?
Good laydown.
Yeah, he's got you. Jeez, what a nice.
Phillips giving Ellie a free look.
I see. I said either you have that or you have the ace. One of the two.
I got very, very lucky there. I mean, I flopped the open end, but
Back at table 4, where Annie Duke just doubled up, but Paul Wasika still has the 2-1 chip lead. Wasika with 9-4 suited. Raises to 13,000.
I'm all in.
Annie with queen 10 suited goes all in, and Wasika folds.
No reason to call an extra 42,000 with 9 high. But you sure hate giving Annie Duke an extra 13 grand.
You behave at the beginning, and now you've been really bad.
Scornful words from Ellie.
Alesra perplexed as Dennis Phillips has surged into a big lead. Ellie looks at a king and calls. Dennis with ace-9 suited. Raises.
I'm all in.
Ellie goes all in. Snap call from
I don't know what
Phillips.
I have. I have 2 paints.
Here we go.
yeah, I'm a little ahead, but barely. I got an ace-9 suited.
I look at king.
I'm ahead, but just barely. It's basically the race.
King, queen.
Not what Ellie was hoping for.
Take a look.
Needed pocket kings to be ahead. Instead, it's king queen.
Dennis Phillips.
Good luck, Ellie.
I got blocker, one of the diamond. Good luck to you.
King of diamonds, queen of clubs for Ellie Alesra.
Ellie trying to find the silver lining in this situation. He's all in and behind, heading to the flop.
Flop brings a couple of deuces and a couple of clubs.
Put a club out there and make it interesting.
Here's the turn.
Careful what you wish for. Ellie picks up the flush draw.
Dennis can handle one club. Another one, though, is bad news.
Never easy, as they say.
Any queen, king, or club, and Ellie will double up.
Dennis's ace high holds, and he advances to the next round.
Phillips has already bested Kara Scott and Chris Ferguson. Add Ellie Alesra to that list. Next stop, Doyle Brunson.
Next round.
Meanwhile, a very persistent Annie Duke continuing to chip away at a once giant lead for Paul Wasika. Paul with 10-3 suited.
If I know Paul, he's keeping his composure in spite of that reality, though. Being chipped away at when you got the lead can sometimes tilt you a little bit.
Call 13,000.
After his raise to 13,000, Annie with Jack-6 calls. Duke flops a full house.
Oh, boy. Now, the bad news is that Paul really doesn't have anything here.
He bets 11,000.
That's the best you can hope for at this point.
11.
Annie calls.
Paul indulges her in the continuation bet. Now that he's been called, though, don't expect him to put an additional chip into this pot.
Wasika picks up a flush draw, but he's drawing dead.
Enter.
Check, check.
You still see him checking there. Once you get called on that board, you can't fire again.
Wasika picks up a little piece on the end.
Little piece indeed.
Annie bets
27,000.
27,000.
So hard to imagine something you can beat. Unless Annie was purely floating you on the flop. You expect her to have a jack, a 6, or maybe a pocket pair.
Wasika concedes, and Annie retakes the chip lead.
Probably wishing she could have earned a bit more in that spot, but Wasika just couldn't find a real hand. Healthy chunk of the deck would have doubled Ellie up on the river, but instead Dennis Phillips says hello to the quarterfinals in his debut. And for Annie Duke, getting hit with the deck marks a momentum shift in her contest.
The round of 16 continues at the National Heads Up Poker Championship. Paul Wasika, once with a commanding lead, now trails Annie Duke by 62,000 chips.
Stacks are back where they were just before Annie lost with those
You're all in.
pocket jacks against Paul's ace-10.
I call.
Paul goes all in, and he calls.
Not again. Same prop. It's the exact same prop as before.
Paul's at risk here with the ace-5 of diamonds.
Annie's
2-7's
agonizing,
22.
but she's got the best
Here's
hand,
the
just
flop.
traumatized from the way this played out last time, just like ace-10 and 2 jacks.
Flush draw for
Wow.
Waska. Annie's 7 still best.
Paul outflopped her last time, but he's got
Get a
some
7
sweat
out.
this time.
I want a 7. So what? Give me a 7.
7, of course, would end things right now.
7 or a queen?
Here's the turn.
8 of
Eight of
clubs.
clubs.
Waska now needs any diamond but the 7 of diamonds or any ace or
7.
8 to double up and stay alive.
Here's the
Otherwise, Annie's comeback is complete.
Waska wills the diamond on the river, hits the flush, and doubles up.